Okay, folks, we took a look at our data set. We took a look at groupby.ag. I was told that we didn't have enough fun when we were looking at groupby.ag, so let's see if we can have a lot of fun looking at groupby.transform. Between you and me, I can't think of anything more interesting than groupby.transform. And I don't mean that with any sarcasm. I actually mean that quite literally, because I'm going to show you one of my favorite things to do. That is a rolling operation within a groupby.transform. I want to show you how it all just makes sense. Here's the scenario. We have our data set. It has dates, it has tickers, it has some signal, and it has basically has two numeric values, one which is real valued and one which is integer valued. And we want to do a group by. And as part of that group by, we want to do a roll. Well, hold on a second. That makes no sense. Let's do it the other way around. What we want to do is a rolling operation. I want to look at how, say, that signal or that value averages given some particular rolling window. I want to do some kind of smoothing. Naively, what I could do is I could say take this data frame and perform a rolling mean on this for every window of two values. And you can see it gives me a result, and it kind of doesn't give me a result for the very first value. That's fine, but the rest of it looks good, except this was complete garbage. The result that I got here was 100% and totally wrong. And the reason for that is I'm rolling through this data set that contains both dates and tickers, which means at some point I'm taking this row and this row as part of the same window. Makes no sense at all. And in fact, if you even think about it, what on earth does it mean for me to find the rolling average between the tickers within a certain date? No, what I want is isolated on a per ticker basis. Give me the rolling mean on a per date basis. Oh boy, what am I going to do there? Well, necessarily what I need to do here is a group by. I need to first group by the element that I want to isolate, namely each individual ticker. And then I want to perform a rolling within the element that I want to see my smoothing occur over, namely the time. Now I could do something like DataFrame.index.swap level, but the problem is between you and me, I can never remember if it's swap level, swap underscore level, swap underscore levels. And so instead, why don't we try and do this with just a group by and a rolling? What I'm going to do is I'm going to group by the ticker. And what that gives me is each individual ticker in a group. Now, when we talked about groupby.ag, what I told you was groupby.ag is useful when you want to perform a transformation of the underlying data set where each group turns into one resulting row. If I group by the ticker, I'll have one row per ticker. If I group by the date, I'll have one row per date. I'm collapsing those windows, I'm collapsing those groups into singular scalar values. Groupby.transform is useful where I want to do a n-to-n, same-to-same transformation of each of those windows, which is exactly what I want to do here. I want to take that window for each individual ticker that contains multiple dates, and I want to give an end result that has the exact same number of rows, the exact same number of entries. It's just that for each date, I'm including a little bit of information before and after to smooth the value. So what I want to do here is a group by transform. If there is nothing else that you remember about groupby.transform, remember this. It is all about preserving the index as it looked originally. It is all about doing an end-to-end transformation of the underlying data. Groupby.transform operates on series. But no, you tell me, sometimes when I look at the output, if I do like a lambda x here and I do a print x, sometimes if I look at the output, I see a data frame in there. What on earth is happening? There is a fast path in the transform. And that fast path is not triggered immediately. The fast path will see if the transformation operation can apply to the data frame, but because it's not triggered immediately, it does not mean that the transform will operate on the data frame on a data frame by data frame basis. It'll merely perform the series by series transformation via the API of an operation on the data frame as a fast path that may or may not be triggered. That's a lot of words to say. Transform, just like ag, must only operate on the series independently of each other. It operates on a column by column, series by series basis. Now, our goal here is to perform a rolling mean over these tickers for the given dates. So I could say .rolling .mean. Okay, that seems to be total garbage. Actually, no, it's not, because if you think about it, if I'm doing a rolling mean, I need to specify the minimum number of periods. And so here, if I specify the minimum number of periods, hold on a second, that seems to be exactly right. That's exactly what I wanted. I have a rolling mean where I've preserved the indexing. Now, obviously, the order in which I can see these two indices, maybe I might want to do a swap level in order to view these a little bit differently, view them with the ticker as the outermost part of this multi-index and with the date as the innermost part of the multi-index, but the underlying operation works. Now, here's where I want to show you my most favorite part of groupby.transform with a rolling inside. And it's going to take a deep breath before we take a look at this. What if I want this rolling to not be a uniform window of just 2 rows, but a window that is constructed making use of pandas offsets? Let's take a look. Now, obviously, I need to pull one of these things from pandas.offsets. So let's do this on the offset of a day. And pandas is very smart. Let's do a rolling over a window of 3 days. This is going to blow up on me. If we take a look at this error, we can think, why is it saying that I have to return a scalar value for each group? It's saying that because the index of the structure the transform is getting is a multi-index. It has one layer for the date, which rolling happily works with, and it has one layer for the ticker. I want to throw that away. I want this rolling operation to just see the one layer of index and to throw away the layer of index for that ticker, because you know what? It's going to be the same value for each row. And so when you do this groupby.transform with a rolling, you will commonly see a reset index being performed. And you'll do a reset index here, and you'll reset the index for the portion of that index that doesn't change. You'll drop it out of the structure, and then you'll perform the rolling, and this will work. Here's what's happening. The transform does not change what the index is. It expects a like index structure or something that it can broadcast. We have a 2-layer multi-index with the ticker and the date, or in this particular case, with the date and the ticker. Rolling sees the date on the outside and says, you know what, that's fine. I can do a 3-day rolling window, no big deal. But since it sees the ticker on the inside, it says, but I'm going to give you a result that is not a scalar value or something broadcastable to a scalar value. I'm going to give you a data frame with each layer of ticker. All I had to say was, you know what, forget that there's that ticker there. I know it's the same because I did the group by. Throw that away. Give me just the resulting structure that is a like indexed result that can be broadcast as a scalar value, or it can be broadcast the result that I want. And there you go. And so here you can see a construction that I use all the time for my time series data. I group by some non-time series structure. I do it in order to make sure that some rolling operation does not cross the boundaries of those groups. I do a transform because I want a like-to-like transformation of this data. I do a reset index inside that transform because I don't care about what that ticker value is, and I want to be able to use the time series offset aware rolling functionality, and then I do a rolling and then the operation on that rolling. You can see all of this put together, and this is one of my favorite things to do on time series data, groupby.transform reset index rolling. You can see where transform is a useful tool for you. It's all about producing a like indexed result on a series by series basis from the input. And so if ag was about taking n rows and returning 1 row, transform is about taking n rows and returning n rows.